If you're wanting to get started in video, then choosing a camera can sometimes be an overwhelming choice. But let's start with the three most popular options: the iPhone, the Osmo Pocket 3, or a Sony mirrorless camera. And whether you're just starting out or you're looking to upgrade, this guide is going to help you choose which camera would be best for you. So let's talk about it. Let's start out with the iPhone and talk about pros and cons. First of all, pros. You most of the time have your iPhone with you, so super versatile, probably always with you, easy to use. And let's talk about the two most important factors when you're considering buying or upgrading the camera. Does it shoot in 4K? The answer is yes, depending on which model you have. This is the iPhone 14 Pro, and it has 4K at 24 frames per second. This is something that we're going to want if we're wanting to really do video professionally and for it to look really high quality. You can of course shoot in 1080p, but 4K is going to give you more flexibility to crop in and post, to be able to zoom in, and just have a higher quality overall. Second thing, we want to make sure that we can have good audio. Now, the internal mic on the iPhone does decent quality audio, but you probably want to get some sort of wireless mic or a lav mic that you can attach and upgrade your audio so that it sounds way better, because audio is half of the viewing experience. And there are multiple wireless mics that can connect to your iPhone, so that's a check on the pros column. Now, if you have a newer iPhone, you might even have log, ProRes, the different settings that have come out in some of the new iPhones to get an even better look out of it. With this, all I have is cinematic mode. I don't have log on this iPhone. I believe there is ProRes, but I've never tested it before. I just use the regular picture profile, but you can slip it over into cinematic mode to get an even better shot out of your iPhone. So let's talk about some cons when it comes to shooting with the iPhone. First of all, if you don't have a newer iPhone with log, you're not going to be able to really edit the colors as much as you would if you were able to shoot in a log or a raw picture profile. So you're going to be limited in how far you can bring back colors, you can salvage footage, or you can really get a creative look by pushing those colors and color grading it very hard. You're also going to run into limitations of it just having a very small sensor and it trying to digitally replicate what real camera sensors and lenses do. There is a reason that there's so much glass and sensors and technology involved in full-blown mirrorless cameras, and that just cannot be fully replicated digitally and feel the exact same way. This will also probably perform worse in low light because of the small sensors and it trying to adjust and compensate for that. So let's test it right now. I'm gonna leave this setup the same, but I'm gonna swap this camera for the iPhone and let's test out what it actually looks like. So this is how the iPhone is performing in cinematic mode with this exact same setup that I was using before. So what do you think of the quality? Would this amount of quality meet the needs that you have to be able to do video? So you can see that the iPhone definitely has some very high quality footage if you know how to use lighting and audio to get a really nice looking setup. And for tips on getting a really cinematic setup with your iPhone, check out this video up here or maybe over here that I've done on how to get really nice looking cinematic setups with your iPhone. I've used the iPhone for several videos. I'll put on screen here so that you can see what these look like. If this seems like the right fit for you to get started with video, then the iPhone may be the perfect camera for you. But if you're looking to go a little bit further into video, you might want to consider the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. This is a super handy little camera. It's going to be a little bit more high quality than the iPhone because it does have a nice 1-inch sensor. It's super lightweight, very versatile, very small, literally pocketable. It has the built-in 3-axis gimbal, so this is going to allow you to get steady shots. For example, if you're walking or vlogging, you can also flip the camera around to easily film yourself. You can see yourself on the little screen, and being able to see yourself on the little screen is a super nice feature because when you're filming with your iPhone, sometimes it's difficult if you're having to hold the camera out and just film yourself with the front cameras, which are a lot higher quality, then you're not able to see what your frame looks like. So with the Osmo Pocket 3, you have this nice display where you can actually see what you're filming. And if you're filming yourself, you can make sure that you're framed really nicely. So let's talk about some more pros. It does shoot in 4K 24 frames per second. You can shoot in D-Log-M, which gives you a lot more flexibility when you go to color grade the footage. And like I said, some newer iPhones actually shoot in log, so that would also give you more flexibility. But if you have an older iPhone like I do, then this, the DJI, is actually going to give you more flexibility in post to really edit your colors and get that creative look that you're wanting. This also has the really cool tracking feature where you can just tap on your face and then wherever I move, the gimbal will actually track me. So I could set this down if I'm somewhere, walk around and talk, show the location off, and it will actually track me and follow me in the frame, which is a really nice feature that, for example, your iPhone doesn't have. And if you get the creator combo, which I highly recommend, it will come with the DJI Mic 2, which is a really nice wireless mic. So we've checked off our main two things: 4K 24 frames per second, we're able to color grade a little bit more, which is a plus, and we'll have really good audio because it can connect to a wireless mic. Now let's talk about some cons when it comes to the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. Because it does have such a small sensor, and it is a 1-inch sensor, so it's going to be larger than an iPhone's camera sensor, but because it is still so small, it will struggle in low light situations. It will also struggle, similar to the iPhone, with true depth of field and really giving you that blurry background that truly looks like a mirrorless camera. You also have to consider that with this, the gimbal is always on. There's not a way to lock the gimbal or turn it off. It's always there. So that's something to consider, is that you'll always be dealing with having the gimbal. And there's just those same limitations of this is not a mirrorless camera. So you're not going to get all of the functionality and the full image of a mirrorless camera. But let's actually swap this out, set this up, and see what it looks like in this setting. So this is what the setup looks like with the DJI Osmo Pocket 3 and the DJI Mic 2 wireless mic. So what do you think of the quality? Would this be exactly the look that you're going for your videos? Does this quality meet your standards? Would this be enough? Do you like the functionality of this? What are your thoughts? So that was the Osmo Pocket 3, and if you want to learn more in detail about this camera, I have a whole video on that I'll also link up here so that you can go watch and see all of the features of this camera, the best camera settings, and just the overall best way to use this camera. So if you think this might be the perfect camera for you, go check out that video. Now, before we move on to the mirrorless setup, one thing to really think about as a huge con with using your iPhone or using the Osmo Pocket 3 is going to be lens choice. Because with the Osmo Pocket 3, you're stuck with that 20mm focal length unless you use the little wide angle adapter that can come in one of the packages. And if you're using an iPhone, you're obviously going to be limited to the different focal lengths because you want to kind of stick with that standard lens because it's going to be the highest quality, and you don't want to use that digital zoom too much because that's also going to just decrease the quality even further. So you're going to be limited on focal length with these two camera choices. So let's move to our final option, and that is investing in a mirrorless camera. Now, right here I have the Sony a7C II. This is a very professional, high-level, expensive camera, but there are more budget-friendly options, such as like the Sony EV1, the ZV-10, EV, whatever the names of them are. But there are a lot more budget-friendly options for mirrorless cameras that you could get started with until you could work your way up to an intermediate or professional level camera. But the point of this video is to show you the different types of camera so that you know which one you should be investing in. So if you've saw these examples and thought, okay, the iPhone is perfect for me, it looks good enough, that's all I need, I don't need anything that costs more, that I have my iPhone with me all the time, it's easier for me to use, then go with the iPhone. But if you're like, nah, I want something a little bit more towards professional, I want to upgrade it a little bit more, then maybe try the Osmo Pocket 3. But if you feel that that's too limited, or you're not really looking to always have a gimbal, maybe you're doing more desk setups, then you might want to look into getting a mirrorless system. And literally, there are too many pros to even mention when it comes to going with a mirrorless system. This is for the creators that are serious about doing video for their business, investing in it for a side hustle, or really trying to go all in on professional video production. You get to buy the lenses and really upgrade your quality. You can do the wireless mics, shotgun mics, on-camera mics, podcast mics. Sky's the limit when it comes to what you can do with a mirrorless camera. Now, you might want to go with something like this, which is also a hybrid camera, which means that the sensor has enough megapixels for it to be really good at video and photo. So if you want a camera that's really good at video, but then you also want to take maybe some good thumbnail photos, or just to have a photo camera with you, then you might want to invest in a hybrid. Now, mirrorless cameras also come in a bunch of different sensor sizes. There are APS-C sensors that are smaller, there are full frame sensors like the one that I have right here. All of these are just going to be stair steps that lead to a little bit higher quality, a little bit more features, a little bit more flexibility with your colors, a little bit more megapixels, better in low light, All of these are going to have different features that you need to figure out what your needs are for your video, and that way you can select the right camera that fits those needs. So here's some important pros specifically about this setup in comparison to our iPhone and our Pocket 3. I can shoot 4K 24 frames per second with this camera. I can shoot it in S-Log3, which is log picture profile, so I can have a ton of flexibilities to work with my colors in post. And with this particular lens, the Sigma 24-70 f2.8, I have a variety of focal lengths that I can use, whether that's a wider angle or a tighter, more zoomed in focal length. I can also easily attach wireless mics like the one I'm using right now to be able to get really nice audio. So let's switch over to this camera and we can do a side-by-side comparison of the iPhone, the Osmo Pocket 3, and a really nice mirrorless camera to show you the difference in quality and hopefully help you make a better buying decision on what camera would actually meet your needs and be what you need to purchase right now. And this is what the really nice Sony mirrorless setup looks like. I swapped over the lav mic to this camera so that you're hearing the audio from it while you're seeing the image. This is shot in S-Log3 and then I color graded it. So now let's do a side-by-side comparison of all three of these cameras and see, are there differences in quality? Is there one that you think would meet your needs better than the other? Think about all of the different features, the limitations of each of these cameras. Which one do you think would really fit your needs and help you create videos in the best way possible? So let me know in the comments down below, which one of these cameras would you be choosing to tackle video in 2025? Do you think maybe the iPhone is perfect for you? That's all you need. You already have it with you, you know how to use it. Maybe you want to upgrade to the Pocket 3. Or are you ready to take that step into full-blown professional video and get a really nice mirrorless camera of some kind? It really comes down to you purchasing the camera that fits your needs and is able to solve the problem that you need to solve. You don't always have to go for the most expensive camera, the cinema camera, the top of the line. Maybe all you need is a Pocket 3 because you're going to vlog all the time and you want something that's really stable while you're walking around, it's easy to use, and it can literally fit in your pocket. That might not be as easy to do if you need to go around vlogging all the time with a heavy mirrorless setup with a microphone and all these extra things. It's all about what your needs are and what camera best fits those needs. Anyway, if you like this video and you found some value, if you're getting ready to purchase a camera and get started on video, then you might need some editing tips. And if you do, be sure to check out this video right over here where I teach my beginner video process in DaVinci Resolve.